Alright, welcome to the home of Grenade Veteran. Today I've got some Havoc 40 2.0 gameplay. I've had a couple of comments asking for dueling sword gameplay. It's not something that I normally use. I am more of a power sword or knife fanboy, but I'm more than happy to use the dueling sword. Who isn't? This will be more or less my original build. I made a couple of tweaks just based on the dueling sword itself and a couple of changes that Veteran got during the Nightmare and Visions update. I'll go over that when the gameplay starts, but before I do, I just want to give a couple of updates to the channel. The first thing is join the Discord, the Grenade Veteran Regiment. I'll leave a pinned comment and links in the description as well. Second thing is, if you're looking to become a member, it's absolutely not necessary, don't feel any pressure, but if you do want to support the channel extra, I do appreciate it. I do have a single membership tier available. I'll show that on screen now. And it's just a way for you to get in touch with me, chat some shit, become a part of that community I'm trying to build. And ultimately, if I'm not going to promote myself, who will? Anywho's, let's go straight into the gameplay. Alright, in terms of modifiers and map, this is a fairly easy one. If you have a coordinated team, absolutely no issues. We've got the OG comp, 1 Zealot, 1 Psyker, 1 Oggy, and 1 Veteran. I'll show the build on screen now. Very support focused, but also hits a lot of the important damage breakpoints, combining riposte with reciprocity. I wanted to test serrated blade, get a bleeding dueling sword. That sounds pretty cool. Serrated dueling sword. Because there's no purples, I don't need to worry about sniping the purples first. I can dump my grenades just like Havoc 1.0, 2 grenade combos, 3 if there's a lot of elites or a lot of dangerous shit, as you can see here. I do like playing with my health bar mods. I see people call it cheating. Technically it's not, because it is allowed. Is it an unfair advantage? Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. But look, I'm someone that comes from Borderlands, League of Legends, that type of shit where there's health bars in everything that I play. I like it. It fuels my dopamine. Now, if I had the health bars only on elites, that's definitely like too much of an unfair advantage, I feel like. But when I'm putting health bars on absolutely everything, if you really think I can tell the health bars of like different elites in like all that hectic shit, trust me, I'm not that good of a player. I'm just playing how I normally do, and the health bars just, it fuels my monkey brain, what can I say, alright? If you don't like it, don't play with it. I'm not here to say I'm like the best veteran. Only listen to me, blah blah blah. No, fuck no. I think I'm shit at the game. But you know, I have fun. I don't think I'm shit. I think I'm fairly decent, and I can teach a thing or two. But that's where it ends, alright? So this area's pretty hectic. This map in particular is fairly front loaded. It's very aggressive at the start and kind of slows down. After you get to the Medicaid in the bottom section, it's a big open area. I'll show it when we get to it. It's kind of chill from there. Or once you get jumped down into that Medicaid section for the event, that's truly when it's like, yeah, okay, this run's pretty chill, it's done now. Just pinging everything that I can. Pinging the important stuff, the elites. I miss all my shots because I can see that mutant's going for me, so I'm just trying to dodge it. Number 1 priority is that Pox Burster. Go back into the dome or terrain if you don't have a Psyker. I'm using the Mark IV dueling sword here, as I showed before. Combos are pretty simple. Spam lights into hordes, heavies or heavy and specials into the elites. Heavy spam into bosses. You can mix in specials into any of your combos if you just need the stagger on demand. Very simple weapon, can't go wrong with it. If you go the Mark II, it's pretty much the same thing, it just has a different light combo. I think it's better for horde clear. It's a little worse for carapace, and then you got the Mark V, which is the worst versus carapace, but it has a very fun moveset. I really like it, to be honest. It's very Pirates-esque, and it also has the best mobility. You can do some very funky things, go agile uncanny strike on that thing, and you're just moving like I don't even know. You're moving like the Flash in Zorian 1. Nice and simple, focusing on the elites. This is also a true survivor run as well in Havoc 42.0. It was also a 26-28 minute run before I edited the gameplay, so you're not missing out on much at all. So we get the Hexbound Demon Host here. Ideally we don't want to trigger it, but once we hit those stairs or get close enough to the wall, it will trigger. So you don't want to walk any further. Let it time out, finish with the Horde. Assuming you've got strong enough builds, you have more than enough time to deal with a Horde that usually triggers before a Hexbound Demon Host or as you get to it. Keep everything in this room, play towards grenades. We've got an Inferno Staff Psyker. I'm keeping my dodges and pushes and push attacks just to make sure I don't get hit. And again, don't get stressed by the Hexbound Demon Host. The second you see it trigger, if you're not prepared or if there's a portal trigger, pull back, play it out. Once you've consolidated everything, then you can push together. Because once you activate the faster trigger times, you can't lower the trigger time, that's it. It's locked into that trigger time and it increases by quite a bit. I think it's up to like 900% or something like that. So make sure once you commit, you commit. And if you're not ready to commit, consolidate, try and figure it out. There is obviously like this Demon Host here, this Hexbound, is on the other side of the map. And it triggers quite fast, like the distances. It's not consistent with other ones, this specific trigger. So the second you do, you have to rush it. You can see how quickly we're trying to get to it and we still almost don't get it. It's like a matter of seconds before we would have like, you know, what, 2 more triggers and we would have got the Hexbound. And I triple dunked my grenades there. I'm lucky that no one else is playing grenades here and I get an ammo pickup here. Uncanny Strike, grenades. This is exactly what we're playing Grenade Veteran for. I don't even think I got an Uncanny Strike because I'm shit, but I mean, it works. The shooters are much less dangerous. You still can get shooter seeds where there's just gunners, stalkers, and reapers everywhere, but this was a fairly balanced seed, so I liked it. Now, it's quite common to get a Demon Host in the next area, so before we push, we're dealing with this Horde first. It's always about consolidating an area, pushing a little bit. Consolidate, push, consolidate, push, consolidate, push. Hold that area as long as possible, and if you need to fall back, then you fall back a little bit. Fight for every inch because you don't want to trigger the bulwark sandwich trains or whatever the fuck they're called. It used to be a 20-meter trigger distance. From what point, I don't know exactly, but it was fairly easy to trigger. It's now been adjusted to 50 meters. I think it's pretty good now. I haven't had any issues with it. But you fight for every inch when pushing forward. You consolidate everything, push a little more. If you need to fall back, you fight for every inch falling back. And you very much still, like Havoc 1.0, want to maintain that pace. You see how, like, now the AI director, the aggression's ramping up, we're not pushing forward, we're more or less holding behind these carriages. If there's like some type of big terrain like a carriage or a room, just assume that might be a trigger. I do and will go over the hubs and maps specifically at some point, but that's quite the big project, so it will happen, but not for a little bit. Back into the game though, I get netted, good players, insta response. I saw that Crusher charging up an overhead just to make sure I go out of the window. Get back in there, stagger, shout, choir, bing chilling. Cleaning up the shooters before we keep progressing. We don't have to clean up every single one, but the less you leave when you break line of sight, the less that will follow you as you're pushing into the next hub. As long as you're clearing like 80% of every section before you push, depending on the circumstances and variables, then you just got to get a feel for it. You'll know when to push and when you need to clean up. Again, this is a great section to fight. It's very easy to push with a dueling sword because you can just delete everything in front of you in a straight line. A nice circular area to play into the air with the bolt pistol and grenades. I should have used that extra grenade before I threw, but you know, heat in the moment. I'm the dedicated ammo goblin in this game. Like, you'll just know when you go into a game, you'll notice some players like shooting more. I like to melee more, but I could kind of feel that my team was happy to rely on me taking all the ammo. It's like an unspoken agreement, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I was a dedicated loot goblin. If I saw that, you know, everyone's more or less one clip away from full ammo, I'll always take it first just to make it quick, simple, keep pace. If I see anyone else at orange ammo, I'll ping it for them because the bolt pistol is fairly efficient. Like, I don't need to be taking all this ammo, but we're not going to leave it. I'm just double checking our surroundings. If I can't see anything, you know, like the Psycho Shield or smoke, use your focus target or tags in general just to see through it. I do also have a mod list and settings list coming soon, probably after this video or soon after, because that is an easy thing to do. Just to keep it relatable, I don't use auto tag. I used it in previous videos, like in the earlier ones, but I turned it off because, again, I want it to be relatable. I know you PlayStation and Xbox guys won't have the health bars, but if you go to my infantry lasgun video, I turned it off for that. This is me doing testing and fairly early on in Havoc 2.0. This is me sweating a little bit more, so you know, cut me some slack, but you don't need it. As I get more comfortable with Havoc 2.0 and test everything and go back to, you know, more comfort things or things I've already tested, I'll turn the health bars off. But this is also important for me to test objectivity in my builds, because it's one thing to think I'm doing the damage or seeing, you know, yeah, that they're dying, but it's another to see the health bars to know that I'm hitting those breakpoints. So if you do want the best version of the builds that I put out, it is important. So cut me some slack there. But anyway, back to the gameplay. We get that Plague Ogre and trigger. We fall back into a place that we've consolidated. We don't need to push. I'm getting lit up. Make sure you deal with those shooters. One mutant into a shooter can, you know, still absolutely down you. Because I'm the dedicated loot goblin, it's my job to deal with the shooters. The bolt pistol is more than capable of dealing with the gunners, reapers, stalkers, and being efficient enough at it, especially with survivalist. I'm like doing a terrible job at dodging that, but this is my first game of the day, so it is what it is. What I do like about Serrated Blade though is you can maintain that uptime on purple elites and bosses. Like, it's just further playing into something the dueling sword is already good at, but when you're dancing around a horde as well, you can't always be focusing and killing every single horde mob when you know there's 20, 30, 40, 50 in front of you. You're just going to be dancing and attacking anything of opportunity. And there's a lot of times where Serrated Blade will finish off the job, especially because the dueling sword doesn't do a lot of cleave damage, but it will still apply that bleed as long as you apply the cleave hit. So it just helps shore up one of the weaknesses of the dueling sword in the horde cleave. I like it. There is an opportunity cost to Serrated Blade, like I'm giving out things like Desperado, Precision Strikes, Redirect Fire. Serrated Blade and Riposte are usually the 4 points I use to invest into quantity of grenades. So let's say I didn't want to take a crit build, I could change Riposte for Thrust, and that gives me Twin Blast and Field Improv or Grenadier. And if I don't want to take Serrated Blade, that's the other 2 points. So if I'm using like a knife, for example, where I don't need to take him to bleed, there's no opportunity cost, then, you know, it's just an extra 2 points to play around. I'm just doing some testing, having some fun. I like playing into the theme of full bleed. I like what I like, what can I say? Now, the captains, they have a flak head, but the twins, they have a carapace head, so you'll get more value from the uncanny strike, getting some stacks on Trash Horde, getting those big stabs on the head. It's just something to note, they still both have flak torsos if I'm not mistaken, so for the purpose of bleed it's the same damage. But if you have something like Ogren that has less finesse damage in some weapons and high flak damage on the twin specifically, you may get more damage just spamming into the chest. We can hear a ton of... This is another one of those demon hosts that if you don't see it, you can easily just lose track of it and jump into this area, so just know about this spawn. We hear all the Poxbursters. I was pretty sure they're below, but it's hard to tell. There is a spawn door behind us, those fan looking things to the left, but they only spawn trash mobs during the event, I believe, so just something that we can learn together. If we hear those Poxbursters in this area, it will be from below, so you don't need to be looking around in 360s like a headless chicken like I was. Just focus on the stairs to the bottom. This is an absolutely crazy team as well. We just synergized amazingly. Everyone was playing on point. There is unfortunately no scoreboard at the end, but you've seen all my scoreboards. My builds perform. This was fairly early on after the patch, so a lot of mods were still broken, especially the scoreboard one. So in future videos there may be some that don't have scoreboards, but the second I fix them, every single video from that point will have scoreboards. But rest assured, I'm not shipping anything that I wouldn't stand by or take in my own games, as you can see. In terms of overall gameplay, same thing. Focus target, those elites, specials, dogs, trappers, flamers, bombers, gunners, reapers. Those are like the important, that is a lot, but those are the most important. Pings on things like crushers and maulers, rages are less important, but also if a boss comes, that's also high priority because there's usually going to be more than one person focusing on it. So boosting everyone's damage or whoever's focusing on it, that is worth it. Again, it just comes down to the opportunity cost and what's going to be readily available in the moment. I figure we get a little bit of breathing room. I want to take that chance to get the ammo now. I can see everyone's in good ammo. I could use an extra ammo or two. Nice and simple, like it's, as you see, we're staying together. Team focus game. That's why I love my things like voice of command, born leader, demolition team. Yes, it's got the offensive aspects. We get a lot of armor here, uncanny strike grenades. That's all you need. But back to what I was saying, which I totally forgot because I wanted to talk about uncanny, but whatever. Oh, completely brain fart. I have no idea what I was just talking about. I think it was something to do about a team, but staying together, playing for the team, even if I'm doing selfish things like not taking field improv, things like voice of command. Ah, yeah, I remember now. Born leader, that's playing into the support elements, keeping everyone strong. No, I completely lost that specific train of thought again. Forgive me, I'm just going to completely forget about it. Let's talk about the specific gameplay. This is a very nice area to stay in. There's a good chance you'll get the terminal next to you. There's again a spawn door next to you for trash mobs. It's very easy to control the elites where I'm looking now, or to the staircase to the right. We open the door, it triggers the hexbound demon host. I'm going to go suss it out and ping it for the team. It's not triggering fast. I didn't notice the green smoke here, so I should have pulled back already. Yep, so that was a very dangerous for me to move that close. If I was paying more attention, I would have seen that green smoke. Don't push past the door, make sure you don't trigger that faster trigger rate. Because I had max grenades, I do recommend using at least one grenade if you've got 3 ready to go. Depending on the time left is how many grenades you want to use, but you can't ever go wrong with dumping one just to speed the process up. Dumping 2 grenades and usually 1, sometimes 2 pokes is usually enough to kill all of the spawners. Focus down the important stuff like the gunners, that hasn't changed. Control the horde, consolidate every area before you push forward. Nice and simple. We get some boss spawns in the next area. Bit of a gunner spawn here, so we take it slow. Stalkers are just as dangerous too. Don't want to mess with them. Focusing those reapers. I'm watching to the side. I'm making sure those maulers and crushers to the left were not about to like change target onto me. In terms of stims, if you got a red stim, especially in this type of team comp, use it on the Ogren or the Psyker. Depends on the situation. If there's a lot of unyielding or unarmored, you can also chuck it onto a Flamer Zealot, but you'll get the most consistency on an Inferno Staff Psyker for sure, Trauma Staff Psyker, or just an Ogren in general. They can always use the Rendi. We get a Captain and a Plague Ogren. I do think it's better to focus the Plague Ogren, or ideally you want to get one person get the attention of the captain, pull it somewhere safe where they can't get ledged, and then you have the other 3 people on the Plague Ogren with your focus targets on the Plague Ogren, because that's a very easy boss to just one shot and not worry about the shield, for example. So for example, let's say I was on the Captain, the Ogren and the Zealot on the Plague Ogren, and then you have the Psychic controlling the board. That would be the ideal play here, I think. But everything's chill. Remember, as a veteran, you don't necessarily have to be 100% aggressive, go, melee all the time. Build it into your gameplay loop that you're constantly looking around for those targets, applying focus target to the most opportune targets. If there's something dangerous that other people may not notice, spam ping it. It's always worth it. Information is power, is strength, whatever that saying is. Kill those Reapers. Those are definitely a dangerous bastard, if not one of the most, if not the most dangerous unit in Havoc. Even with the changes to gunners in general, I don't know if the Reapers were affected, but the stun locking, the damage, yeah, don't fuck with them. You don't have to consolidate this area because, I mean, we're going into an event anyway, so just let it come into the next area, play for the AoE there. That's right, for the Emperor. Classic elevator shenanigans. Doesn't matter if you're level 1 or Havoc 40. There's elevator shenanigans. That's why we love Darktide. But, like, truthfully, there's not much to say. The build's pretty simple. It's the same as the original build if you've watched that. I will get purple, I think, I don't know what they're called. Enroaching Garden, is that the purple modifier? I will get a lot more purple gameplay uploaded because that is definitely what everyone seems to be struggling the most with. And I can agree, I'm in that same boat too. But it is just more so of a playstyle adjustment. Whereas, you know, when Havoc 1.0 came out, and you know, the pus hardened gunner seeds, everyone was having an issue, but eventually people adjust to it, they learn, and you just learn how to play around it, you know what I mean? People and the average builds, the meta will slightly adjust and change, people will become more knowledgeable of what to bring. I think it's the same thing that's happening here, just like in 1.0 where you would go into a room, and as opposed to just jumping down and triggering everything, if you have the opportunity, you would shoot and corral all the enemies towards you into an advantageous, ideally high vantage point where they'll have to climb up and you can just snipe them as they're doing that. It's the same thing here. If you notice purples in the distance, start sniping them from a distance. That will pull all the rest of the spawns, yes, but by the time they get to you, you should be okay. The plasma gun has gotten stronger because of things like the cleave. the purples themselves don't heal, so it is very important. So like for example here, let's say there was a lot of purple spawns. This is not what you want. You want to be ready to immediately push into the right, middle or left, whatever's available, to kite and then play around the middle pillar in a circle, slowly taking down those elites. You get what I mean? You need to slow down the game to deal with them. Just like in Havoc 1.0, the gunner seeds, you need to slow down your pace to deal with them, but unless you want to get absolutely murked. Same things going on here. When you didn't have the plus hardened gunner seeds, you can still blow through the map. Everything's still the same. I will get more of that gameplay done. Again, fortunately no scoreboard. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. Catch you in the next video. God bless 07.